Hi guys. Okay, so this is actually a little bit nerve-wracking. I have spoken the push mastermind and the push leader before, but it's always been, hey Sarah, it's always been in a Zoom, and for some reason Zoom is a little easier for me. So this is actually going to be a monthly thing where I come talk to you guys about stuff you guys want to like pick my brain about. So we may like plan for a Zoom next time. To be totally honest, I kind of spaced this was happening after the Summit hype. And so apologize there wasn't more notice like before today of being like, hey, I'm going live, because I kind of forgot about it. So holy crap, there's 7 of you on. This is kind of freaking me out. Sometimes Facebook Live is weird and I didn't think anybody was going to be on. This is kind of freaking me out. Okay, so a few things. The point of this is to be beneficial for you. So ask questions, ask clarifications. That's what I'm here for, is I'm here to help. So if you're like, whoa, tell me about that. Tell me about that. Brenna, what's up, girl? And normally I'm not very good at reading comments, but I'm going to try really hard to read the comments so that I can like stay on my train of thought and not come back later and be like, wait, what were you talking about when you said to repeat that? And I'm gone for 45 minutes later. Second thing, I love, like on Josh's thing when he does jazz hands, clearly I can't see your hands if you do jazz hands. Guys, there's a lot of people getting on this, kind of freaking me out. So I obviously can't see jazz hands. So reactions, okay? That helps me know that like what I'm saying is connecting. It makes sense. You're relating, that I'm not going off on a weird tangent, because I can go off on weird tangents. So if you're like, oh my gosh, yes, keep talking about this, give me the likes, hearts. When you guys like slow your roll, then I'm gonna be like, okay, time to talk about something else. Okay, and the last thing, oh, Jess, I love your face. Okay, and the last thing I wanna talk about, my goal, we're talking about, I don't even remember what I titled this. I came in and asked in the group, like, what do you guys want me to talk about? And I'm just realizing my face is so dark. I have a diva ring light and I forgot to turn it on. Sorry, guys. I came in and asked, like, what do you guys like want to hear about? Like, what is it that, and it was pretty popular to talk about, like, how do I find builders? How do I turn fans into people on my team? How do I, and then there was a couple about like managing my time. There's a few about rejection, which that's probably going to tie into this. So my goal with everything I'm about to say is to overwhelm the crap out of you, because I'm giving you so many options, so many angles, so many tips, so many whatever, so that you're not coming away from this going, she gave one tip and that doesn't apply to me because I'm not at the same place as her, so I can't do that. That's the goal. Is I am trying to overwhelm you with options because I'm hoping a couple of them will stick. So I don't want you to be like, holy crap, she just gave me a list of 30 things she's doing. These are things I've implemented over. Some of these have taken me 4 years to implement. So just know going into this, I've got hair in my face. It's fine. And I haven't worked out yet, hence this beautiful look I'm rocking. So if you come into this and you're like, holy, I'm overwhelmed, I'm trying to overwhelm you because I'm trying to give you lots of options, lots of choices. I want this to be beneficial. I want this to be a good use of your time. Okay? Okay? All right, let's do this. So I want to start, what do I want to start with? Okay, let's talk about, I should show you my notes. I have like a page of notes, things written in the margins, arrows with things I want to talk about. So this isn't even going to be bulleted, because this was like, okay, what are the things I can talk about that help me find builders? Back up. For those of you who don't know my story, really Reader's Digest version. I'm a Beachbody coach. I'm going to try and use non-Beachbody words because I know not everybody in here is Beachbody, but I'm a Beachbody coach, and I was successful on the outside. I was hitting the monthly minimum of how many new recruits or new customers you need to find every month. I was hitting my company's monthly minimum, and I had hit it 27 months consecutively. And so from the outside, it looked like what I was doing was working. I was rank advancing. We have an annual conference every year, and I was coming to every conference a higher rank than the year before. So on the outside, I was climbing. On the outside, my income was enough to cover my mortgage. So from the outside, holy crap, she must be successful. On the outside, my income every year was growing. And so from the outside, it looked like everything was working. On the inside, I was stuck. I had no builders. I had no team. I had no momentum. My income was going the wrong direction. I was hitting that monthly minimum because I was calling family members on the last day of the month. I was rank advancing because my sister had a bigger team than me. And because she developed her team to what's called Diamond, I became a 1-star, but I felt incredibly empty. And because of how Beachbody's binary volume system works, it didn't raise my income at all when she exploded and went Diamond. And so I started getting resentful of someone on my team. And it's not just someone on my team, it's my sister. And I just was in a bad place, okay? And I went to a retreat that my upline hosted because I faked my way to my next rank advancement and hit 2-star because my sister was Diamond, and then I built my husband to Diamond. If you're not Beachbody, it just means I helped my husband get a certain number of clients. And but I earned this retreat that I did not want to go to. I was 9 months pregnant. I was literally 5 days away from being induced. I was insanely pregnant. It was my last weekend as a family of 3. Did not want to go, and I went anyway, and my life changed. Josh Coates was at that retreat, and since I did a post today, you can go check my wall, except it made me like dry heave and I want to take it down. Up until that point in my business, in 27 months, I had made $25,000 over 27 months. Since that point, over the last 22 months, I've made $125,000. So I've 5 times my income in a 5-month shorter span time. So by the time we add in those extra 5 months, I probably will 7 or 8 times my income. So like that retreat, like things exploded. I finished last year as a top 100 elite coach in my company, which basically is oh my gosh, all this awkwardness. It means like I'm like the top of my company. And it, you know, I officially obviously hit 6 figures earned with my company, and hitting elite means I have a team. It means I have builders. It means I have volume. It means I have coaches. It means I don't just have fans sitting in the stands. I have babes on the field playing with me. And everything pivoted for me at that retreat and with Josh. So you guys are my home babes because you guys are Josh people, and people who like Josh, I like you. So I am talking to the right people. Holy crap, Lish just got on. It's fine. It's fine. Brittany, congratulations on 23 weeks. That's so exciting. Okay, so that being said, I want to talk, I'm going to go in all the weirdest order, okay? So first of all, when it comes to finding builders, and people see like, okay, tell me what you're doing. You hit elite. You have so many builders. Tell me what you're doing, because all I have is these fans that watch me and they tell me that I'm inspiring, right? Anybody else hear this? You're so inspiring. You're so awesome. I just signed up with someone else. Oh my gosh, you're so inspiring. You're so awesome. I can't wait to join your upline. Oh my gosh, you're so inspiring. I just bought this on Amazon. Did I already say that, or did I just think it? Any of these sounding familiar? I've heard every single one of those things this week. So the first thing I want to start with, those things, unfortunately, there's obviously things you can do to prevent it, and I'm going to talk about that because it doesn't happen as often as it used to, but those happen to me too. You're not like some freak that how come people say that to me and they don't say it to anybody else? That happens to me too, okay? And when you think about Josh's football analogy, that is like my favorite thing ever, that some people want to watch the game at home. Some people want to pay for cheap nosebleed seats and they rather pay more for beer than like a decent seat, and they just want to watch the big screen. Then you have people who want to sit, like they pay good money to sit front row. Then you have people who pay even more money to stand on the sideline, but they don't want to come play in the, and then you got the people who try out, but they stay on the sideline. They don't want to come in the game. And then you got the people who are on the field playing the game, okay? And the big question is always, how do I get more people on the field with me? In my experience, you get a bigger stadium, because I have just as many people in the stands. I have just as many people front row. I have just as many people sitting on the sideline who tried out and decide they don't want to come on the field with me, or they wanted to be on the field last month, but they don't want to be on the field this month, or they're on the field with me this month and it's my starting running back and holy crap, we're like slaying the world together. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, where'd you go? You haven't been to practice in 3 weeks. That's all normal. That happens to me too. So if you feel like you have too many fans and not enough people on the field, you need a bigger stadium. You need more people in the seats. You need more, and the way that you do that, I feel like I hate it when people say send more invites. So I do think you need to make sure you're sending invites, but I want to talk about some things outside of that, some like outside the box. They're not secrets. In my head, they're pretty common sense, but I want to make sure that there are common sense, so that they actually like, because yes, you do need to send invites. You do need to send invites, but there's more to it than that. Okay, I'm gonna like take a highlighter to my notes so that I can remember what I've talked about. Okay, so you are gonna find who you become. Okay, Josh has one of the best quotes. I think he said that he originally said this. I feel like every quote I ever hear, I'm like, I know I heard this from Josh. I don't know who originally said it, but I think this is a Josh quote, that your outward success is a result of your inner growth. You will find who you become. Hey, Sherry, you're going to find who you become. So I did not know that. And I'm sure I heard it. I'm sure I heard of the law of the lid. I had read 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I'm sure I'd heard it, but it didn't register until I came home from that retreat where Josh changed my life. And I started doing a miracle morning. And I obviously didn't learn that concept from Josh, because if you guys know Josh, he's not a morning person. But I started waking up at 5 a.m. I literally had a baby 5 days after that retreat. I did not have all day to be on my phone because I'm not sleeping. And honestly, in hindsight, I'm like, dude, I'm my own hero. I don't know how I woke up at 5 a.m., except I do know we're going to talk about that. But I started waking up at 5 a.m. and I started posting it every day in my stories for accountability. Because and I just was showing with the timestamp, I'm up, I'm gonna do my workout. I'm up, holy crap, I'm tired. Emma woke up 4 times last night, but I'm up. And every single day, 7 days a week, I posted my stories. I posted in my stories, I'm awake, I'm awake. And all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, consistency breeds confidence. But all of a sudden, a couple months later, I started having people message me that were like, I'm really busy, I work full time, but I think I could do this because I could wake up early like you do. Can I join your accountability group? I think I could make a 30-minute workout a 30-minute workout work in the morning if I woke up like you. And my team, we're not all a miracle morning. I don't want you to hear that like everyone's a clone of me, but probably 80% of my team wakes up before 5 a.m., 5:36 a.m. And that's not a coincidence. I attracted who I became. And that is a continual thing. So if all of a sudden I stopped waking up early and I started sleeping in until 9 and, posting that I woke up really late, and then I posted I was staying up really late and working after my kids go to bed, I'm going to start recruiting night owls, because you're going to recruit who you are. And the outward success is a result of the inner growth. I did not start doing a miracle morning hoping I would find business builders who wanted to wake up at 5 a.m. It just happened because I was becoming like a new person. I'm getting the passion sweats. There's a girl on our team that whenever she gets excited, she starts getting sweaty. She calls them passion sweats. Passion sweats are real. Probably take my sweatshirt off in a second. So one of my top tips for finding builders is to be a builder. You're going to find who you are. So if you want someone who never misses a team call, they're always present in the groups, they're slaying it, they're recruiting, they're consistently showing up every day. If you're a Beachbody coach, that they're working out every day, that they're drinking their shake, that they're interacting in the challenge group, that they're watching the National Wake Up Call, that they're whatever. Make a list of what you define. What's a builder? What is a builder? Is a builder, so for me, a builder is everything I just said. There's someone who wakes up, or it's someone who they don't miss a call. Even if they can't get on live, they watch the recordings. That they're working out every day, they're following the meal plan, they're drinking Shakeology, they're interacting in my group, they're present in my threads, they have positive energy, they're committed to their personal development, they're trying to become a better person, they're doing their action hour, power hour, daily activities, vitals, whatever you want to call it, that they're doing these things. And then I make sure I am slaying 125% those things, because I will never, law of the lid, the number thing John Maxwell talks about in No Limits, you will never find someone who is an 8 if you're a 2. That's not how it works. And if I want to find 4, 5, 6, 7, I have to be an 8, 9, 10. And so I make sure when I know what a builder is, I'm doing those things, because that helps me find them, because you find who you become. Okay. Okay, so I was gonna talk about that. Okay, another thing that I do that I don't, in my head that's common sense, but maybe it's not common sense to everybody. And I've made Energize and I haven't even drank it yet. So y'all, this could get lit once my Energize starts kicking in. Okay, another thing I do. I was listening to music, trying to get like hype before this call. So what's coming on? Listening to music, trying to get hype for this call, and we were listening to the Aladdin soundtrack, the new one. It's bomb. If you haven't seen it yet, Will Smith like slayed it as the genie. I love Robin Williams, but Will Smith was like on point. And we were listening to this song, Friend Like Me. And that song is not about, I am better than your friends because your friend does this. Everything is about, can your friend do this? And shows what they do. Can your friend do that? You've never had a friend like me. And everything is about, like, Genie is pumping himself up. He's like, and screw if Aladdin decides to think he's cool. Genie thinks he's cool because, like, you've never had a friend like me, and he believes it. You can hear it in how he's like, can your friend do this? Can your friend do that? Like, he is like very like, I am the shiz nizzle, whether you think so or not. I believe I'm awesome. And that is important with the whole concept of like, people are talking to me and then they end up signing up with someone else. This is not a perfect catch-all thing, because that happens to me too. But the more that I can show in specifically, I feel like I'm slaying this in my stories. I need to be a little bit better about this with my posts. But specifically with stories, I show every day, not you should join me because of this. You should join me because of that. I'm better than another coach because of this. I'm better than the other coach because of that. Everything in my stories is constantly about, like, you've never seen a coach like me. You've never, and showing value, showing why I love it, why I do this, because it's subconsciously, we get defensive when people are like, you should join my group because you're not showing up on your own. You should join my group because you, the whole you thing that we always talk about. And I'm pointing at you, I have one finger pointing at you and three fingers back, pointing back at me. That never comes across, right? People get defensive. The more that we talk about why we love this, why we are obsessed with what we're doing, why we all know from Grant Cardone and Be Obsessed or Be Average, it's okay to be obsessed. That the more that we can create that FOMO and we can talk about why you love this and what they get. So if I have some resource that I'm sharing, perfect example, again, I'm trying to think of like examples outside of Beachbody, so non-Beachbody people, I'm sorry. But I'm a big fan of To Be Mindset, greatest thing ever. And they've released this new thing like last month that's this 30 days of meals with a grocery shopping list. It's free. It's on Beachbody On Demand for anybody who has To Be Mindset. But I showed it in my stories that I was like, all the babes in Best Self Boot Camp, because that's the name of my accountability group, all the babes in Best Self Boot Camp just dropped this resource in our team page. Make sure you go look for it. I had probably 50 comments from either coaches in other teams, my coaches, my customers, or people who wanted to become my customers. So it was a wide variety going, holy crap, that is beautiful. Where did you get that? Dude, you all have access to it. It's on Beachbody On Demand. I just created FOMO with it. I shared it in my stories to show the, like, you've never seen a coach like me. I talk about resources and things that I provide. And that goes along, and the more that I can show why I think my groups are awesome, why I think I'm providing incredible value, why I think what I'm doing is awesome, the more I build up myself, the more I build up my own belief. And that's called a book of proof, that I am creating a book of why Ashley McClellan is a freaking badass. And it doesn't matter if somebody else doesn't think I'm a good coach. It doesn't matter if someone else thinks, oh my gosh, girl, you need to learn how to do graphics. Yours are not as good as mine. Okay, that's probably true, because I do need to learn how to work on graphics. But if I think my groups are awesome, and if I think I'm providing incredible value, and I think someone should get in my group because they're missing out if they don't sign up with me, if I think that belief and that energy will come across when I post, when I invite, when I share in my stories, and it creates FOMO. And that all stems back to belief. So I believe that people are missing out if they don't get in my group. And I want to, hopefully this all comes across right, because sometimes I feel like this can come across super cocky. So the whole concept of like, well, somebody messaged me and said, girl, you're so inspiring. Because of you, I've joined my friend and I'm so excited. And that concept of like, dude, you're an idiot. You should have joined me. I've been talking to you for however long. That is whatever. Why didn't you join me? And that's the thing. That still happens to me sometimes. And again, judgmental hats off. Nobody judge Ashley for what's about to come out of my mouth. I tell myself they're going to come back to me. They're going to message me. And I give it 3 months. And I don't say this to them, but I tell myself 3 months from now, they're going to come back to me because their person's going to quit. And they're going to wish that they signed up with me because their person's going to have quit on them. And it doesn't happen every time, but it happens more often than anyone would like to admit. And that's one of the most common things I hear right now when people are messaging me, asking me if they can get in my groups is, can I join your group? I'm signed up already, but my coach quit and I have been rolled up to their upline. Can I join you because my coach is on a break because she's pregnant? Can I join you because da 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 da? So when someone decides they don't want to join me because they're signing up with someone else, then I just bless and release. That is easier said than done, but I bless and release and I tell myself they're going to come back because I'm awesome. And that belief goes back to that belief. And like, I provide incredible values. I know I'm not going anywhere. And I know that 10 to 1, their coach is going to quit. And so they're going to wish they were with me. And it makes me sad, but it also like instills the belief in me at the same time when, oh shit, my low battery just came up. Let's plug my phone in. When people message me telling me their coach quit, because then I'm like, well, I kind of knew that was going to happen. I'm sorry that happened to you, but I kind of knew that was going to happen. And this is why you should have signed up with me in the first place. So like having that belief in yourself and knowing that you are awesome, and like, it happens to all of us. Like it happens to me too, that people decide not to sign up with me. I think one of the big differences is I'm talking to so many people, and kind of going back to the stadium analogy, I have so many people who are in the stands working their way down to the field that when one of them decides to leave my stadium and go to somebody else's stadium, or they still want to be my fan, but they want to watch from TV because they're joining somebody else's team, it doesn't like ruin me because I'm having so many conversations. Okay, I think that's another thing that, again, goes back to the stadium thing. You got to be talking to a lot of people, which if you're, and I only do the 20 and 10 thing that Josh teaches us. I only do 20 connections, 10 invites a day. So it's not like you need to be doing 60,000 invites a day. 10 a day is 2,500 brand new seeds in the ground every single year. And so like that is enough seeds, girlfriend. If you're putting boyfriend, whatever, we got a lot of people in here. If you are putting enough seeds in the ground, new people, new seeds you've ever talked to, it is enough. Okay. Okay. And along those lines, I wanted to talk about this too, so we're gonna tie right into that. Okay, mindset with like posting and invites. You don't eat the fruit and plant the seed on the same day. So I don't send invites on the last day of the month hoping to hit Success Club, because I know that's not how it works. You don't eat the fruit and plant the seed on the same day. So I show up 31 days out of the month, 365 days a year, because it's my job to be here when they're ready, not for them to be ready when I need them to be ready so that I can hit my own goals. And that's a huge part of how my team hit elite, is I didn't start gunning, which not that you can't start gunning for elite right now, because girlfriend, you can start gunning for elite right now. But I didn't hit elite because I started showing up at the end of the year. I don't hit Success Club 40, 50, 60 because I show up at the end of the month. I'm sending invites on the first of the month, and the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and I'm showing up all the time. And it takes a second for momentum to catch up. But like Josh always talks about, you are reaping what you sowed 2 to 3 months ago. So if you do 10 invites 5 days a week in July and August, be prepared for September to be slaying. Sorry, got a phone call. It will catch up. So you have to give it a second. You have to keep doing the 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 with brand new people. and give the tree a second to grow, okay? Along those lines. What if you have someone who's like, I think I'm ready. I want to do this. You don't stop putting seeds in the ground so that you can yank the fruit off the tree before it's ripe. When the fruit on the tree is ready, it will fall off the tree into your hand, and you're not going to need an axe to rip it off the tree. Okay, you don't want to drag people. If you have to drag them, you don't want them in your group. You don't want them on your team, because if you have to drag them to sign up, you're going to have to drag them to show up. So give the fruit a second to be fully ripe and keep talking to the other people you've invited. And then, Kelsey, we can talk about that. Hold on one second. But I'm going to preface, and Kelsey, I don't know the full situation. So tell me more. But I know for me, I was a big mindset person that was like, I've been doing this. I'm doing that. Why isn't this working for me? I was doing that. And the second I started looking for what can I do different? What can I learn? What can I not rehaul? What can I tweak? Where can I make small changes? My business exploded. And today, I am a top 100 elite coach with multiple star diamonds in my downline. And today, found 4 things I could tweak when listening to a call from my upline. There are things you're not doing perfect. And when we have the mindset, when we have the mindset of I'm doing that, why isn't it working? You will stay stuck, because it's the proof thing that Josh talks about. I feel like this is like me being like, remember when Josh said that one thing? This is what he meant. But it's the proof thing. We're looking for proof. We have found our story. I'm doing that and it doesn't work for me. This must not be right for me. I'm doing that and it doesn't work for me. What's wrong with me? That our brain is looking for proof. And that's when you have to rewrite the proof and find what you're looking for. Like, you're going to find what you look for. And so if you're telling yourself, like, I don't even know if that makes sense. Does that make sense? And I think that's where a lot of it comes back to finding your limiting beliefs. Which I think I was going to talk about this. So when you have limiting beliefs that are like they're real, like, you guys can tell me some of your limiting beliefs. I want to hear some of them, because I will attempt to mini Joshify them. But like, I think that's a big thing that's holding a lot of people back, is all this actionable stuff is cool and creating all this FOMO and stuff is cool. But it's like, for me, it was belief. And I know for some people, it isn't belief. They believe in themselves and they just needed to be more consistent, which, I mean, I did need to be more consistent too. But I was stuck and mega in my own way because I did not believe in myself. And for real, Val, like, I don't even know how it comes out. Josh just comes out of my mouth. That's what happens when you listen to him all the time. Okay, so I do want to hear some of your guys' limiting beliefs, specifically about finding a team, because like that, they're real. And the more that you like can beat them, the more you can overcome them. But you can't, I am like not a fan of people who like pretend to be cherry bubblegum and unicorns and life is perfect. Oh, that's another thing I was going to talk about. You need to talk about how business is hard. You need to not be the person who is like, everything is fun and we go on trips and I'm on the beach and look, I just made $10 million by posting on social media. You should come do this with me so we can shake our shakes together. That is bullshit. That is not how this business works. Whether you are in Beachbody or LipSense or Advocare or the nail one that I just completely forgot what it's called. I know like a bunch of you are team nailed it because Kelly Francis life. But like, that's not how this business works. That is, okay, these are good. These are good. Liz, I'm going to come back to that. Val, I want to see yours. Oh, my hangups and beliefs too. I get stuck when I sit down for my power hour and then I think I don't know who to talk to. I'm out of people. I know that's crazy, but it's just my head standing in my way. Yes. Yes. Okay. Val, we're going to tackle that one because that's one that I feel like I can help with because I had the same thing. I'm running out of people. I am running out of people. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to hit Success Club. I'm running out of people. Give me a like, heart, thumb, Jessica. Thank you, Color Street. Give me a like, thumbs up, heart, whatever. If you have told yourself, I can't find a builder because there's not enough people that want to do this. It's oversaturated. There's not enough people for me to sell to because the market is no one, why would anybody pick me? There's not enough people, okay? Whitney is exactly, we don't just make money posting on social media. That is not a thing. I do believe anyone can do this as long as they're willing to work hard enough, but we don't just post. Okay, so here's the thing with the whole, I really need to drink this. I've picked my nose up 19 times. Hold on one second. Here's the thing when there's not enough people. There is enough people. There is. But you have to tell yourself that there is enough people. Your brain has found, so let's follow this train of thought. This is how you find limiting beliefs, okay? Okay, I'm going to teach you what Josh taught me to do. He has said this 1,000 times on team calls, but I am telling you, boo, if you can figure out how to do what I'm about to do, you are going to blow your business lid off the roof. Take notes, okay? That sounded really cocky, but I can be cocky because Josh taught me this and it works, okay? So if you, Kelsey, I'm going to read yours in just 1 second. You find the voice. What is the mean girl saying? Okay, you have mean guy, mean limiting belief, whatever. Find it. Do not try to positivity unicorn shit on the top of it. Find the voice, turn it up. What is she saying? Okay, I'm running out of people. There's not enough people. I don't have enough people. I don't know who I'm supposed to invite. I don't know who I'm supposed to connect with. I have no idea who I'm going to sell to this month. I don't have enough people. Okay, you talk yourself through rationally. Is that true? In Beachbody, the amount of coaches we have right now in the network is enough to take up the city of Kansas City. I've never been to Kansas. I've never been to Kansas City. I don't know how big Kansas City is, but I know Kansas City's population is not the same as the entire state of Kansas. And I know Kansas's population is not the entire population of the United States. And I know the United States population is not the same as the population of the United States, Canada, and the UK combined. So therefore, it is bullshit that every single person in the 3 people that we, in France coming soon, that we can sell to are all already signed up. Because that's not true, because the amount of people already signed up as coaches takes up the population of Kansas City. Not even Kansas, Kansas City. So rationally, that's not true. There are people out there. And I just need to find them. So you find the voice, you walk yourself through to the point that you're like, okay, that doesn't even make sense. That's not true. Right now I'm seeing proof. I'm seeing that I send someone an invite and they message me back saying, oh, I would love to, but I already have a coach. Or they message me back saying, oh, I would love to, but I do this. Or I would love to, but I actually signed up with your upline who is prettier, smarter, hotter, better at posting, makes more money, more successful, more blah, blah, blah than you. Any of these ever sounding familiar? So your brain is looking for that. Your brain is looking for the people because you're telling yourself that there's not enough people. Your brain's looking for the proof. So you have to walk yourself through to the point that you're like, no, that's not true. That's not true. There are people out there that want me. And then you tell yourself the affirmation. So I just added this affirmation 2 weeks ago. Well, it wasn't 2 weeks ago. It was 2 months ago because I realized I was telling myself that I'm running out of people. I can't keep hitting these crazy success quote numbers. I can't keep recruiting like this. I'm running out of people. And so I started telling myself that's not true. I find people every day who want to join me. Okay. The way I'm not as much of an affirmation guru as Josh is, but the way that is worded is insanely important. I do not tell myself, I hit Success Club every day, which if you're not in Beachbody, that means you sell 3 challenge packs, which a challenge pack is starting a new customer. I don't tell myself, I find 3 new customers every day. I don't tell myself, I hit Success Club with ease. No, I don't. It's bullshit. I work my freaking ass off to hit Success Club, okay? I don't tell myself that. I don't tell myself, I sell a challenge pack every day. I make money every day. I find someone who says, shut up and take my money every day. That is not what I tell myself. I tell myself, I find people every day who want to join me so that when someone messages me and says, girl, you are so inspirational and I wish I could do what you do. That is a fan. That is someone who is sitting in the stadium. But my brain goes, ha, proof, we found it. There's a person for today. We found someone who wants to join us. They may not be able to do it yet, but whatever. And then you take it a step further. But then you get the message that you're like, oh my gosh, you're so inspirational. I wish I could do what you do, but I'm worried it's going to be too expensive. Can I get more information? Rather than my brain going, oh my gosh, I don't even know why I'm sending information. She's already given me a price concern, so I don't even know why I'm wasting my time sending this, because she's going to say it's too expensive, and she's going to say she's not a shake person, and she's going to say she doesn't need Beachbody on demand because she can just work out for free on YouTube. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time sending this person information. Then my brain goes like, holy crap, you really found your person for today. Like, someone like wants prices. Like, she's interested. You found someone who wants to join you. And then when I get the person who I've been following up with over and over and over again for months, that is like, okay, I think I'm ready. I filled out your form. Can you send me an invoice because I'm ready to join you? My brain like explodes with joy, because then I'm like, I found someone who is ready to join me. It's the same freaking thing. I just find proof of it multiple ways. Okay, you will find what you look for. And if you look for proof that no one wants to join you, you will find proof no one wants to join you. Okay? Okay. Okay. If you keep inviting to your business, they're just going to think you're doing this for personal gain and not trying to help them change their lives. So, okay, so found the limiting belief. This is the last one I'm going to do because I could spend like 10 years doing this. And I have some other things I want to share with you guys really fast. And I don't want to make this a 4-hour live, even though Josh totally gave me permission to go 4 hours. Okay, so you found the lie. If you keep biting into your business, they're just going to think you're doing this for personal gain. You're just doing this to make money. That's the only reason you're out there to help them. Walk it through. Is that true? For me, that's not true. I'm trying to provide value and make other people's lives better and get them in my group because To Be Mindset changed my life. And I'm a better mother. I'm a better example to my children. I'm a better spouse to my husband. My family is making better choices because of the things and the mindset that To Be Mindset taught me. My daughters are not growing up seeing a mom who is hiding in the pantry, binging on chocolate, and then hiding the wrappers anymore. My daughters wake up and know to look in the gym in the basement because mom's working out and she probably procrastinated. So even though she woke up early, she's probably still downstairs because that's just what mom does. And that is because of Beachbody. That is because of To Be Mindset. That is because, and Shakeology, insert FDA disclaimer, my second child is on this planet because of Shakeology. I have an autoimmune disease and I was told I'm done having children, not because I can't get pregnant, but because I shouldn't. Because my body just doesn't do well. My autoimmune disease flares and I nearly died when I gave birth to my first. And my doctor told me that because of my autoimmune disease, because it kept spontaneously coming back, I was done having kids. And all of a sudden, after I started drinking Shakeology, my autoimmune disease all of a sudden got under control. And after 2 years of being stable, my doctors all of a sudden gave me permission to try having another baby. And I had a perfectly healthy pregnancy, perfectly healthy delivery, and have a perfectly healthy 2-year-old in the next room because of Shakeology. So if someone thinks that I'm sharing what I'm doing and I'm sharing my boot camp, or I'm sharing how this business opportunity has blessed me because it brought my husband home and my kids grow up with a mom and a dad instead of seeing their dad on FaceTime, or they're growing up in a house where the debit card is not declining when we're buying groceries and I can actually afford to put food on my table easily without having to check my bank account first. If someone else thinks that's the only reason I'm providing this to them, screw you, because you're wrong. And so you walk it through rationally to where you can see that is not true. That is not true. And then you make an affirmation that just says the opposite. I share with passion and conviction daily because this changed my life and I know it can bless someone else. That's it. That's the affirmation. I share with passion and conviction because this changed my life and it will change someone else's life. You tell yourself that over and over and over until it sinks in. And when was the last time your neighbor went to work so that they could pay your light bill? Who the cares what other people think about you? You're doing it for you and your family. You are doing it to change your kids, your spouse, your life. And if other people can't get on board with that, get out the way, because screw you. And there was a freaking good quote at Summit. I was reading through my notes the other day. I don't even remember. Oh, hey, you guys just fell down. Somebody said this, and I don't even remember who it was. But they said, people aren't going to be supportive of the train, like while it's moving, something along those lines. And it might have even been Josh that said that. I don't even remember. And I have no clue where it is in my notes, so I'm never going to find it. People aren't going to be supportive while the process is going. All of a sudden, now that I'm successful, now that I'm making so much money, now that people are coming, oh, hey, how are you doing that? Girlfriend, I invited you 3 years ago and you like laughed at me. Hey, family member who's telling me how proud of me you are, you told me that I should stop doing everything I'm doing because it's making my family look bad. You're supportive now, you aren't supportive then. You have to have that mindset, kind of like I was talking about when people decide not to come to you. You have to have the mindset of screw them, watch me, and that you're going to keep going because you're going to have naysayers. And Grant Cardone talks about this, that you're like criticism, you're making them feel uncomfortable because you're doing something they don't think they can do. So they're going to criticize you. You're never going to be criticized by someone who's doing more than you. Yes, babe, what? Mom, life is real.
I absolutely thought that the bottom button was...
Your lipstick looks beautiful.
Was the bottom?
Uh-huh. Oh, did you change the time?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. You look beautiful. So that's that. I just went on the randomest tangent, okay? But I wanted to talk about that. So, and along those lines, someone asked about my follow-up wording. I'm going to share about that really fast. I'm going in all the tangents. Is this making sense? Is this making sense? I feel like I'm going all over the place. But when I send, someone messages me, they ask for information, okay? Or I invite them and they say, yes, actually, I am asking, or I am curious about information. Can you tell me more? So I send them the information, and we're going to talk about we're going to talk about that too. How I send my information, because I feel like, again, remember, my goal was to overwhelm you. That was my goal. So if you're like, holy shiznizzle, this is a lot, that was my goal, okay? Follow-up wording. I send them my info, and then 4 days later, I message them and say, hey, did you get a chance to look at that? Then a week later, I message them again and say, hey, I don't want to be a pest in your inbox. I got this wording from Josh. Hashtag all good things in this life come from Josh. Don't want to be a pest in your inbox, but I know you were interested in doing what I'm doing. Is that something you're still interested in? And then I set my follow-up for a week later, and then I say, just wanted to let you know I didn't forget about you. When you're ready, I will still be here, and I'd love to have you join my group, team, blah, 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 okay? That final wording, the pest one, pretty dang good success rating on that pest one of them saying like, no, you're not being annoying, sorry, life has just been crazy, my dog died, my kid got sick, work's been crazy, I had a baby, whatever, life is crazy. Is your life crazy? My life's crazy. So 10 to 1, our customers' lives are crazy too. So they come back, that pest one, usually I figure out what the problem is or why they've been busy, why they've been ignoring me, ghosting me, they hate me, oh my gosh, I'm ignoring them. No, their life is crazy because their dog got sick and they've been at the vet, like something came up, but what?
I cannot remember the goal.
Okay, well, you fixed it. Oh, no, you didn't. Okay, there you go. I think I fixed it. And, oh, no, I didn't. I don't remember how to fix it, so I'm going to have, there we go. Maybe I did fix it. Just be careful. Just push the top one, okay? Okay. But if that pest one doesn't get them, 99% of the time, they will reply to that, I'm not going anywhere. When you're ready, I'll be here. That usually gets like, sorry, stuff's been crazy. Let's touch base in a couple months. Sorry, we just don't have the money right now. I do want to join you, but I can't right now. Like, I find out why they were ignoring me. And I never, literally, knock on wood, have yet to have one person say, how dare you tell me you didn't forget about me? How can you just stop being so salesy? Can you just leave me alone? Like, maybe they think that, they don't message me. The people who message me back say, thank you for not forgetting about me. This is why I want to join you, because I really think you care about me. And when I'm ready, you're going to be who I come to. Thank you for not forgetting about me. Follow up. That's why Follow Up Friday, it used to be a thing. I think it's still a thing in here. If not, we follow up every day. Follow-ups are a thing. So wording. First one says, did you get a chance to look at that? Second one says, don't want to be a pest in your inbox. I just know you've been thinking about doing this with me. Are you still interested? Super short. And then the last one says, Just wanted to let you know I didn't forget about you. When you're ready, I'll still be here, and I'd love to have you join my team / group / whatever it is we have been talking about, okay? That's my follow-up wording. And I believe that. I believe that when you're ready, I'll still be here because I'm not going anywhere. So when they're ready, I will be here. And I'm reaping what I sowed 4 years ago. I have people who've been following me forever that have asked for information 1,000 times that are finally joining because I'm still here. You have to be determined to still be here. Even if 97 people of the 100 say no, that's okay. You're still gonna be here. And I promise, if you're sending Josh's 10 invites a day, 10 new ones, that's 200 seeds in the ground a month. You should have 3 yeses out of 200. And if you don't, you need to chat with your upline about your wording and about the content you're putting out, making sure you're providing good value and things like that. That's a whole nother topic. We really could turn this into a 10-hour live if I go over that. Okay. Objections, really fast. And I talked about that. Okay, objections. If you're hearing objections, if you're hearing that it costs too much, talk about it in your stories. Talk about how it's saving, about why you think that's wrong, and talk about it in your posts. If you hear people saying, I couldn't do what you do because I don't have enough time, show how you're fitting it in the pockets and show it in the moment. So don't come in at the end of the day in your stories and you're like, so today I did all my work stuff that I needed to do, and I got on 3 team calls, and I'm blah, 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 blah. People are like, holy shit, how'd you have time to do all that? I will show mowing my lawn with my AirPods in while I listen to my weekly call with corporate. I'm talking about the national wake-up call for Beachbody coaches, but I'm showing I'm mowing my lawn. So people are like, oh, I can do that. I can listen to stuff while I drive. I could, like, you're trying to instill belief in them. You need to show them how you do it. So I show, like when I'm working, I will show my monitor next to my computer that I say, Emma's down for a nap. I got 2 hours to slam through my invite, or I slam through my work stuff inbox. I'm coming for you. So that people are like, oh, she works when her kids are asleep. I could do that. I wake up early so that people can see that, oh, well, I could wake up before my kids. And the people who sit there and argue and, well, I can't do that. My kids don't take naps. Well, I can't do that. My kids don't wake up early. Well, I can't do that because I don't drive to work. I don't have a commute. So I can't listen to that. Then you're not who I want on my team anyway. And when you're ready to have a mindset shift and you're ready to look for proof of why you want to be on my team instead of why you won't be a good fit for my team, I'll still be here, girlfriend. I don't want those people on my team. I want happy, positive, dude, let's go slay the motherfucking world together on my team. I want those people on my team. So I talk to those people. And that's why you can't be vanilla. Because I hear all the time, you're kind of intimidating. You're kind of, dude, I'm trying to be intimidating because I'm going to find people who want to work hard. I tell them, one of my affirmations is because I lead with confidence and positive energy. I find coaches who are also confident and have positive energy. This like explosive, like I can't sit still and I still have this much energize left. So it's not even that my energize is kicking in. This is just who I am. This was not a thing when I met Josh. This was not a thing. I was not this person. This is because I tell myself I am this person. And my outward success is an expression of my inner growth. I grew into this person and I find who I become. Like this is what happens when you do tons of personal development, when you spend tons of time with Josh. You guys have a gold mine in the file section of this group that there are like every call you could imagine from Josh's life as a push coach is in here. Turn one on every day while you're doing your action hour. Who says that Monday has to be the best day of the week because that's the day Josh is live? Turn on a Zoom recording and listen to it every day while you do your power hour so that you are doing 20 calls a month with Josh. Josh, and this doesn't mean you're blowing Josh up. When I started like in Josh's cheapest group he had 2 years ago, Josh had no freaking clue who I was. And I wasn't messaging Josh, tell me affirmations. I need you to help me. Can I do a one-on-one? Like Josh had no clue who I was. I was on his YouTube channel. I was in the recordings, in the archives, in the whatever word I'm looking for, watching everything he provided that I had paid for. I was going to inhale as much of it as I could. And rather than looking for proof of, yeah, well, that sounds cool, but that would never work for me, I looked for proof of how I could apply it. You will find what you look for. Okay, follow-ups. Kelsey, sorry, you're right. I do talk so fast. And guys, this is me with I don't realize. It's fine. Okay, sorry. Oh, I missed a bunch. Okay, I'm gonna scroll back up. Okay, you're never gonna be criticized by someone who's doing more than you. You're gonna be criticized by people who are doing less. So you'll never be criticized by someone doing more than you. I think that's what I said. And next up, Whitney answered for me. Good job, Whitney. Okay, after that third email, how long do you wait to contact them in the future? Couple months. Right now, I use TeamZ is my like system. You guys can't tell, I kind of have a squirrel brain. Like Josh's peacock, like distracted by the shiny things. That is me. And so TeamZ is like, you said you were going to talk to this person because this is the day their husband got paid. Don't forget to talk to them today. Otherwise, I will forget. I won't remember who I was talking to yesterday. So I will tell my TeamZ, remind me to talk to them in 3 months. And a lot of times I try to time it in Beachbody around a launch. So right now I'm going like balls to the walls because MM100 just launched, and the last time I talked to these people was when Ultimate Portion Fix came out 3 months ago. So those were people who were like potentially looking for a nutrition solution. Now I'm talking about my 100-day accountability group where we're going to get to go through this together and work on our morning routines and whatever. So, and then these people, all my follow-ups are getting set for October 1st. Guess what? That's when the works comes out. And that's where and then after that, I'm going to be blitzing for New Year's resolutions. Like, so I kind of separate months, but guess what? A lot of those people come back to me sooner. Not all of them. I have people I've been inviting for 4 freaking years that still haven't joined me. So if you have people that you send a share card to, if you send an invoice, they say they're ready and then they don't pull the trigger, that happens to me too. The difference is I put a lot of seeds in the ground. So if one doesn't pop up, my business isn't ruined because it's not. I don't need them. I want them. I want you to join me. I want you in my group, but my business isn't going to crumble if you don't do it. I want you to hit Success Club. I want you to be successful, but if you don't go Emerald, my goals are not going to be missed. I want you to hit Diamond, but if you don't hit Diamond, I'm still going to hit Elite because I don't put all my eggs in anybody's basket, okay? And that was a huge mindset shift for me. Last summit, I was supposed to walk as a 4-star, and I didn't because one of my diamonds fell, and she felt terrible, and we had like 1 freaking week left of qualification, and I came in and was complaining to Josh, and oh my gosh, and he was like, dude, it's not her fault. Why do you need her? Why didn't you have somebody else ready to go diamond? What, like, that's not her fault. That's yours. Why did you put if you wanted to walk as a 4-star, why were all of your eggs in her basket? And that was super like, you're right, and you're right, okay. Follow-ups, did you get the chance to look? Yes, that was number 1. Number two was, I don't want to be a pest in your inbox. And I know you've been thinking about doing this with me. Are you still interested? And I don't do the whole like, and if you're not, that's okay, please just tell me. Like I asked, are you still interested? That's a yes or no question. Like I'm not tricking them into saying yes. Are you still interested? So, and then I'll still be here when you're ready and I won't forget about you. Yes, exactly. Okay. Oh my gosh, Holly, we fell out of 4-star qualification, not once, but twice in the last week. It's fine. We ended up hitting 5-star. It's fine. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about. I don't even know how long I've been going, guys. I'm sorry. Clearly some of you are still on, so clearly this is informational, but for those watching the recording, holy crap, good job for still being here, because I thought this is long. Okay, how I send my information. Matthew messaged me before the call. I was like, I want to know, like, when people are asking about the business, like, how do you communicate to them how the business works? So again, I'm about to overwhelm you, so be ready. So it started with, I had a typed thing that I explained why I love the business. I made a list of why I'm a coach, why I love this. Sarah, yay, thanks for still being here. Why I love the business. I had a typed thing that I would send, and then and it ended with a question that was like, is that something you'd be interested in? That if they said yes, I would send them like a YouTube webinar from my upline, or from my upline's upline, or from a YouTube playlist I created from Lindsay Matway's Scotty Hobb videos, which if any of you are not Beachbody, they're like 2 of the biggest coaches in Beachbody that are nowhere in my upline, but there was free information on YouTube, but I would send people those. So that's how I started. Then I started creating sneak peeks into coaching on Facebook. So I would create a monthly group, a group, And then I would create like albums in the group. So it would have like income progressions of me and a couple of my coaches who were seeing success. But to be honest, at the time, I didn't really have a lot of coaches seeing success. So I pulled income progressions from other successful coaches in my team. So I'm part of the Micah Folsom umbrella. So holy hell's bells, we got a lot of successful people on my team. Sometimes it's really overwhelming. And so I put some of their income progressions in there. And then I had like an album of like team pictures. So from when we went on the cruise together, or when we went to Mexico together, or from Summit and like the big super workout and all of us together, or Micah's ginormous team picture at Summit, so that they could see, like, I'm not doing this alone. I'm part of an incredibly successful team. And then there was an album of side-by-sides, so they could see transformations, and they could see, like, we don't just post to make money. We are on a journey trying to become our best self. So then I had those. And then once a month, I would come in and go live and do like either a live Zoom or go live in the Facebook page, talking about what I do as a coach. And I would advertise for it before the group, like 4 or 5 days beforehand. Hey, I'm doing a sneak peek into coaching. I'm doing a behind the scenes. I'm doing a Snoop group. I'm doing a webinar. I'm doing an info sesh. I'm doing whatever, insert fancy word here. If you want more information, request to join. And then as I was sending invites to the business throughout the month, if someone was interested and it wasn't time for a sneak peek yet, I would just add them to the Facebook group so they could watch the recording, because I would leave the recording up until like the day before I was doing a new one, and then I would delete it and just make a new one. Leave that one up for a month, go in, make a new one. That started getting, so that was step 2. Then that started getting kind of exhausting. So then I made a Google form, and that basically was a sneak peek into coaching in a form. So it talked about like what we do as coaches. It showed my income progression. It was all typed out. It was super pretty. They could submit their information, and then I could, like, if they actually filled it all the way out, I knew they were super interested because they looked at all the info, so then I could message them. Google Forms were super, super, super scary for me, and that took me a lot of time. So that was something that took quite a while before I started doing. Then I started doing that. Then I felt like the Google form wasn't working very well. So now what I'm doing is I have an Instagram sneak peek, and it's like a separate account called Fit Bliss Nation, that's my team name, _Snoop group. And that it is like all the things someone could ask about coaching in posts. And it's super, super pretty because my upline helped me create it. That it talks about, like, do you have to work out? These are like limiting beliefs. And it talks about limiting beliefs people have. So if you're not a coach, you think about all the objections and the things people have. And then those are the posts you talk about in the group. I have team pictures. I have transformations. I have income progressions. I have common objections. I have how much it costs. I have how much it costs ongoing. I have, or am I going to get a fee? Is there a minimum thing? Can I cancel whenever I want? Is there a military? Like, whatever. I have all the things covered in there, and they're all pretty because it's in the right order. So I went through and did the work once to make it, and it's set for the rest of my life. And the only time I would ever need to update it is if I want to change a picture. And because they're all in a certain order, if I decided I wanted to change a picture, I would have to go delete like 12 of them to redo them all. So I'm going to have to really want to change the picture before I do that. So, and then right now when I want to talk about coaching, I just talk about it in my stories or in a post or on Facebook and say, if you want more information about what I'm doing, I have an info group on Instagram. Go check out at @FitBlissNation _Snoop group. And then I can see who, it's private, so I can see who requests to follow me. And then I can go in and do stories in there when I'm doing a new coach kickoff call, that I can go in there and say, hey, I know you're interested in the business because you're in this page. So if you're wanting to come do this, I have my new coach mentorship. I try to use like cool sounding words. My new coach mentorship, my new coach apprenticeship, my whatever is kicking off. And we're starting in 2 days, and I'll do like a countdown. So it's like counting down for me. And if you're wanting more info, there's a Google form in my bio. Fill it out so I know you're interested and whatever. So that is how I get people information about coaching. And honestly, I do something incredibly similar if someone's asking about a challenge group. Because in Beachbody, we have like customers and coaches. I think every single one of us has that. So I do something very similar with the customer side, that I've done an info group before. I have it right now. I'm slaying a Google form. If someone wants information about the 100-day group I'm doing, or 2B Mindset, the nutrition plan that changed my life, I have Google Forms that has videos embedded, that has my story embedded. but it also asks them, are you interested in Beachbody On Demand? Do you want Shakeology? Do you want the yellow stuff? You always see me drinking in my stories. Do you want, so that by the time they fill out the form, I've asked all the early questions. But again, those forms, I'm 4 years into the business and I'm just barely doing crap this complicated. When I started, I took the time to sit down once and write out a post so that so I wasn't constantly having to retype it when someone asked me for information. I started trying to streamline things. That was something I wanted to talk about. I've seen a whole bunch of questions, so I want to talk about these really fast before I go off on another. Jay Ring! Hey! I don't know if you're still on, but you were on a second ago. Eggs in one basket, so much yes. Dude, Manny, that blew my mind too. What if they never watched or read anything? Then love ya. I'll be here when you're ready. I have people who never look at the form. I have people who never watch the video. That happens to me too. That's not some unicorn you're doing something wrong, or if you're doing it wrong, I'm doing it wrong too. So Instagram account, seriously, it's the greatest thing ever. It is permanent. Marin, I think that's how you say it. Val, do you add to that account regularly? No, I'm not. I'm adding to the stories. I don't add to the posts because they're pretty and they're in a pretty order, so I just leave it alone. And yes, I did. Never mind. I just saw your thing saying never mind to answer that. Okay, so I wanted to talk about how to send my information. I was just going to go off on a tangent talking about that. Don't remember what it was, so clearly it wasn't that important. Okay, if you think of something that you're like, you were about to say this, I mean, not even in my mind to know what I was going to say. But I was gonna say. Okay, so that's that. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about, not being on my phone all day. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. You push for a season and then you delegate. So I hear if you're anything like me, that I was like, okay, this all sounds cool, but like, I don't know how I'm going to have time for crap like that. You do the stuff on the tracker first. You do your income producing activities, IPAs, connections, add to your network, invites, follow-ups, posting, PD. That crap comes before any of this other fun, fluffy leader crap, okay? Income producing stuff comes first. Then if you have extra time, you do these things. And then if you're like, okay, well, this all sounds great. There's not enough hours in the day. How the heck am I supposed to do all this? You slay those things over here until you're at a point that you can start delegating stuff. So then the first thing I ever delegated was I hired a house cleaner. It got to the point that I was doing well enough with my business and I was actually doing my income producing activities and they were actually making me money so I could actually afford a house cleaner. And I hired a house cleaner to help me clean my house 2 times a week so that I tidy and do dishes and laundry, but they scrub baseboards and blinds and walls and toilets so that I don't have to. And then when that showed me, holy crap, I'm not stressed about my house anymore. My husband's not getting mad at me about the house anymore. I'm still slaying my business. I'm still doing my income producing activities, but like my house is clean too. I wonder what else I could delegate. Then I hired an assistant. I didn't hire an assistant until I was making like $5,000 a month. So if you're like, I just started and I don't have enough money for an assistant, don't hire an assistant. You're really good at the income producing activities. And when the income producing activities are working and you're like, shiz, I don't have enough hours in the day, but these things are important and they're working and they're paying for themselves, like that's when you start delegating. So if you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get to so-and-so's level. So-and-so isn't at that level by themselves. They have help. They do. Every single upper coach you look to in Beachbody, I promise they have help. Whether it's their spouse, or they have a house cleaner, or they have an assistant, or if I remember right, most of McAllister has like more than one assistant. And her husband, her husband doesn't stay home with her because they talked about that at Power by Am. He owns his own shop, and my husband loved Mick at Power by Am. But like they have help. And they got really good at time management. Their outward success is a result of their inner growth. They got really good at time management. So don't put your blinders on. Don't compare to so-and-so and be like, I have no idea how I'm going to get to so-and-so's level. I'm just going to quit now because I could never get there and I'd be so overwhelmed if I got to that point. No. You just do this. And then when you get really good at this, then you can open your whatever and start taking on new things, but not till you do your income producing activities. Okay? Jessica, tracking will be your best friend. Don't reply on the fly. That was something Rachel Baldwin, she used to be a Josher. I'm not sure if she's still a Josher or not, but Rachel Baldwin blew my freaking mind when she was like, you don't ever reply to a message unless you're sitting in front of your computer and you can track it. Whether you're using a free Google Sheet that you figured out how to organize because you're better at that crap than me, or you're using Google Streak, or you're using Teamsy, personally wouldn't super recommend a notebook and pen because you're not going to remember that you need to talk to so-and-so on January 19th when their husband gets paid. Like, I would do something digital that you can sort by, but you don't reply to messages unless you're in front of a computer so you can track it. Because same thing, I only reply to messages probably twice a day. I have like 2 pockets of time I reply to messages. And if I wasn't tracking and Teamsy wasn't reminding me, yo, you sent this person an invoice, did they fill it out? And I'm like, wait, who is that? And I go in and look and, oh my gosh, I did send them an invoice. I totally forgot about this person because I have a squirrel brain. So tracking will be your friend. And the overwhelm with messages is a thing. Oh, girlfriend, it's a thing. You are my person, because holy F words, sometimes I want to throw my phone across the room. So this is going to tie perfectly into the last thing I wanted to talk about. And then if you guys have any final questions, hurry and drop them. Don't be on your phone all day, as I have been live for 4 hours. Sorry, guys. Don't be on your phone all day. When you're intentionally working, you're intentionally working. So you're not scrolling your phone while you're trying to play with your kids. You're not, and yes, we talk about doing this in the pockets of your time, but it needs to be like you're not just scrolling your phone. Like right now I'm sending my invites. Even if your kids are right next to you and you're doing this while your kids are next to you, right now I'm sending my invites. I'm going to do my invites right now. Okay, intentional, did my invites. Okay, I'm going to do my connections. I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to do my 20 connections. Okay, did my connections. And you have to be intentional with the business so you can be intentional with getting off, because you will get burned out if you are always on your phone. You will get burned out if you are always plugged in. We are network marketers, not emergency room physicians. And it is okay to walk away from your phone. I literally have an affirmation saying, I am worth waiting for, because my brain tells me, oh my gosh, if I walk away from my phone and if I take too long to reply, they're going to end up going to they're going to sign up with somebody else and they're going to end up with another coach. And if you haven't read Take Control of Your Life from Mel Robbins, she talks about that thing I just did where my voice gets high pitches. She talks about that. That is fear running away with me. And so I had to make an affirmation to ground myself. I'm worth waiting for. And if somebody can't respect the fact that I only work certain pockets of time and the rest of the time I'm with my kids, that's not someone I want on my team or in my challenge group anyway. So glad we figured it out now. And but like, I literally have to tell myself that. I have to tell myself I'm worth waiting for. And Josh has had to walk me through that like a bajillion times, because that was a very big block for me. That, oh my gosh, I have such a big team and I have so many people in my challenge groups and I have to be plugged in all the time and my kids are getting the worst of me. No. Your family gets the best of you, not what's rest of you. And that's why Josh always talks about your family should not be sacrificing anything for you to grow this business. My family didn't sacrifice anything as I've exploded. I work when my kids nap and I sacrifice my Netflix time and I wake up early. That is how I have exploded without my family. And again, I looked for ways I could do this, not for ways it wouldn't work. Okay? That truth, and I'm so glad that you guys can relate to the burnout, because burnout is a thing. Be careful of the burnout. Intentionally plug in, intentionally unplug, and show it in your stories. If you are struggling with this, your people are worried about it too. They are worried that you work all day. And if you're showing that you're on your phone all day, then they're going to be like, dude, I can never do that. I don't have time to be on my phone all day. So that's again, you will find who you become. If you get really good at doing this intentionally, you will find people who want to do this intentionally. And the more that you can show it in your stories and then show your unplugging, people will see, oh, she doesn't work all day. He doesn't work all day. I could totally do that. Okay. And then if your kids are, one of my top things for those of you who are at Power of I Am, I talked about Find Your Fight. Totally forgot to talk about this. So my 2 fights that I really, really, really put a lot of skin in the game for was I needed to bring my husband home because I was sick of sleeping next to a gun, and I needed to make enough money so my husband could get a new job. And I really wanted to take my daughter to Disneyland for her birthday, and I wanted to pay for it with Beachbody because we had just brought my husband home. Yay, so happy, but like, holy crap, nobody breathed, or we're going to blow the budget. And now my daughter wants to go to Disneyland, and like, we did not have extra money for that crap. And so that became a big why for me. I talked about that at Power of I Am. What I totally forgot to mention is that those were tangible things that my daughter cared about. My daughter could care less that I'm elite. My daughter could care less that I got some extra ribbon on my lanyard. My daughter could care less that I got some cool call on her birthday. She knows that the call was important to me because I talk about it a lot, but she doesn't understand. She doesn't care that other coaches in Beachbody look up to me. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. What she cares about is that I get to see dad now. And she cares about the fact she got to go to Disneyland. So now she and I talk about it. We talked about it yesterday, that I feel like I'm hitting that, like, she's frustrated with me with how much I'm working, and because I'm trying to work while my baby is napping, but she's old enough she doesn't need naps anymore. So we talk about it. Okay, what do you think mom should be working hard for? And she wants a backyard. She wants a fence. She wants a playhouse. She wants and she described it. And this is vision boarding. This is manifesting. And I'm teaching my 5-year-old how to vision board. Guys, like, you don't think that coaching will change your life? Like, holy crap, I'm changing my kid's life. But then she told me, like, and she closed her eyes, like, I want a fence, and I want a picnic table so we can go outside and have lunch, and it has an umbrella so we can eat in the shade, and I want a playhouse so that we can play Barbies outside, because that would be so fun if you played Barbies with me, Mom. And then my friends could come over too, and if we could put the water table in the backyard instead of in the front yard, and Mom, that would be so fun if we had a backyard. Guess what I'm pushing for now? Guess what my why is now? Guess why I'm working my ass off now? And when she says, Mom, how come you're working so much? Mom, can you put your phone down and play with me? I can say, babe, I need you to give me 10 more minutes. Mom's working really, really hard so I can buy you a playhouse. Can you give me 10 more minutes? Yes, Mom, I can. You know, 10 more minutes, and then I want to play with you. And that makes me be intentional. So this goes back to the intentional thing, but you need to make your why tangible for your family. Your family doesn't care about the bright lights and the recognition and the what it will mean for you, because I did a post about this, yes, oh, except I didn't do it publicly. I did a post yesterday. You want some lunch? Okay, you put on perfume. You smell beautiful.
I want snack.
Okay, can you give me 2 minutes and then I'll come down? Okay, well, I'm doing my call. Do you want to say hi to them?
No, I don't want
Why don't you go get a bar? Bring me the orange bars and I'll open them for you. There's some downstairs in the pantry. Okay?
red bar.
Oh, you can go get a red bar. That's fine too. Hashtag feeding my kids beach bars. They're fantastic. So I think I finished that train of thought. Sorry, mom life is a thing, clearly. But like, make it tangible for your kids. Make it real for your kids so that they understand what you're pushing for. Make it real for your spouse. Don't push. Oh, that's what I was talking about. My hike yesterday. We went on a hike yesterday on a super unmarked path, and there were these little pink ribbons all along the path. And the hike wasn't about reaching the pink ribbon. It was about how pretty the view was, and it was helping you make sure you were still on the path. That is what we're doing with ranks in our businesses. We are not trying to hit these ranks because life will be great and bliss and unicorns once you reach this thing. Once you reach the ribbon, you need to turn around and look at the view behind you, because that's why you push for the ribbon. And then when you climb to the next ribbon, as you stay on the path, the view will be better. And then you keep going. It's not about the destination. It is about once you get to the destination. My life didn't magically become bliss and unicorns. It still isn't bliss and unicorns because I hit elite. My life became incredible because I brought my husband home. And I brought my husband home because I started pushing for elite and started consistently showing up in Josh's groups. And I changed my mindset, and I decided to argue for why I could do this rather than arguing for why I couldn't. And then my life changed, and I brought my husband home. But it tied to elite. It tied to 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. Like, they were connected. But my life didn't become better because of a rank. Pushing for the rank made my life better. And you need to make that real for your family, and you need to remember that, because it's not about pushing for a rank. It's about what you will get once you get to the rank. Okay? Jessica, I'm so glad I'm not the only one with kids. And yes, you need to find what you're fighting for, not just a why, because unless you're like a sadist, your why is your family. Like, everybody's why is their family, but like, why? Like, what are you fighting for? Why do you have urgency? Josh talks about this all the time. You guys know this. Intensity, time, urgency, that's the same thing as intensity. Belief, consistency, are those the things that I just, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Intensity, urgency, like, why fighting? What are you fighting for? And make it real for your family. So then your family, they're a lot more supportive. If I tell my husband, babe, I'm working super, super hard because I'm pushing for this thing, and when I hit it, I want to buy you a block. Dude, he was all about that goal. He was asking me, so how's 3-star looking? How's 3-star? When do I get to go get my new block? Like, he was super on board with that goal. And that's because I made it real for my family. Casey was super on board with me pushing for elite because I told her I was going to take her to Disneyland if I had elite. Like, You make it real for your family. Worth, thank you. I always call it belief. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Dude, Jessica, we have to hide the beach bars. Emma would eat 3 of them a day if I let her. And Casey is in love with them now because she just discovered they don't have raisins. She thought the cherries were raisins, so she wouldn't eat the red ones. She only ate the orange ones. And now she knows the red ones are actually chocolate chips and cherry extract. Now she's eating 10 of them a day. It's fine. It's fine. Beach bars are great. Yay for the husbands who love guns. You guys are my people. Okay. Any other final thoughts, comments, questions, concerns? I hope this was helpful. This, again, my goal was to overwhelm you. My goal was to like pack a ton in here. Hopefully you guys aren't all like, Josh, don't ever have her come on here again because that was terrible. What? It's called cherry extract and it's super, you love it. Stop now that she heard me say that. Now she doesn't want to eat it. You're fine. Go eat it.
I like cherry.
I know. It's delicious, huh?
Cherry's good. Cherry's good.
Okay. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you guys have, if there's stuff that you guys are like, want to talk about deeper. If there's some of this, I'm like, I can't really go much deeper on this because everything I learned from Josh. What was that hashtag we said? All the good things in life come from Josh. Keep sticking with Josh. That's the other thing I guess I should wrap up with. This is not a sales pitch. I don't get paid for any of the things I say about Josh. Josh changed my life because I let Josh change my life. Because I decided I wasn't just going to pay for one of his groups and I didn't become a millionaire overnight. I'm quitting now. I decided to stick around. And I told myself, if a month here and there of Josh can help me, if I feel lit and on fire after a free webinar, if I feel fired up after one of his calls, what would happen if I let him breathe belief into me for a year? And I committed. They did some special that if you paid for a year, that I did it. I signed up. I'm going to be here in a year. I'm not just going to be a Beachbody coach in a year. I'm going to be a Josher in a year. And that, I don't think it's a coincidence that my business exploded when it did. I know it's not. I didn't believe in myself. I have one of the worst mean girls you guys can imagine. And the reason I got her under control was because I decided I wanted to get her under control. And Josh, I wanted to find proof that I could get her under control, and Josh taught me how. And I let him breathe belief and fire into me when I didn't feel belief and fire in myself. So if I could say anything, stick around, listen to Josh, pull up the archives, listen to his old calls, let him breathe fire into you, because you are like just as capable of explosion as me. And you can do this, and it's not some magical script. Josh never gave me some magical script. Josh didn't teach me. I mean, he helped me with a couple systems. Josh helped me with belief, and he helped me understand the importance of urgency and consistency and giving it time. And that is what was missing, is I wasn't being consistent long enough, and I didn't believe this would work for me, and I didn't have the worth piece. And when all those things combine with a fire-breathing dragon like Josh in your head, like, you will slay, okay? You will. Okay. I love you guys. I love you guys. The Princess House, that's for listening to you. So seriously, fight for Disneyland.